good morning. It is 8:25 almost, June 14th. It's a Tuesday. We had some numbers come out earlier in the overnight session. Well, just at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Or I'm sorry, 7:30 a.m. Central time, an hour before the market opened. I'm going to run and get some tea, and I will be back here momentarily. Okay, there we go. Looks like we got the sound going. just before the open here. All right. Okay, everything looks good. Good deal. Got my 5-minute below and my overnight. So here's our 15-minute. Here's our 1-minute chart. The red and the green lines just denote the high of the overnight session, the high and the low. Right now we're right in the middle, right around 70. So I will denote the first minute of trade with 2 orange lines. We just call that the opening range. And today it's nice, we've got a little bit more context, right? Yesterday we were just in no man's land. I was getting short here at 90 and 93 and just ran some stops there. My thesis was right, I was just a bit early getting in and then sold off nicely. Never saw that level again for the rest of the day and put in new lows even. All right, here's our first minute of trade. Right there and right here. Okay, so looking at our 15-minute, we're here under what looks like it, was a little bit of support here. We'll see if it serves as resistance. Overnight low right at 37.50. That was where we came down earlier in the session, and then later in the day we took that level out and then quickly recovered, got back up in there. We are still, I'm just looking at the daily, obviously we're still in a very, very bearish trend. Very, very, very. So we've just gone down, down, down. Let's see what we do today. Boy, FedEx had a pretty big pop. I've got several puts in there and had a good little pop up, so that's nice. So XLK, that one's doing pretty good too. All right. So not a gap. I mean, we're inside yesterday's range, but we are pulling down into the close yesterday. So we'll remind ourselves that we can and will have a winning performance every day, and we define that as just watching and observing. So yesterday I was a little bit, kind of a little quick to pull the trigger on the trades, and then I had some good patience later on letting it set up, but I didn't see any like A setups for me, ones that I just absolutely love. So we define that winning performance, mindful of this note here at this 80 level, as just watching and observing without emotion, not fearing that you'll miss the move, and then executing with targets and stops in place. They also sold this off in the overnight session as well. So let's see, here's the 15 minute. So this was yesterday. That big spike up, got all the shorts, got a lot of them got stopped out. I was one of them, and then had a nice pull back into here. Anyways, this, where was it at? Oh, yesterday. It was later on in the day. I wasn't in front of the screens. I was done by about 11:45 or 11:30 yesterday. But this one was interesting. Down, ran some stops, and then just flushed through it. And then we came back up to that like mid 80s level here in the overnight session. Tried it again just before the open. So it's just good to make note of that area. Watch and see where this bar closes here. I've thought about doing something here, but Being that we're just right in the middle, we're kind of hanging out at resistance now. I'm just going to sit back and wait. So I've thought about getting short, maybe against this level right here. I might try it small. I'm going to try a small piece short just against this level right here. I'm going to buy back a third right here. Buy back a little bit more right here. So I'm in half of that position, holding against this high up here. Gonna buy back a little bit more right there. Okay, so I'm still holding 1/3 of this thing. Seeing if we can push a little bit lower, which we are. Gonna see if we can get down to 50 or so. I'll hold the rest against this, maybe even this level here, which is about where my break even is. So here's the 15. Here's the overnight 15 session. So I was in that one just 30% of the size that I let myself get into. Watch the 5 minutes, see if we get any follow through. Looking for 50, that'd be a nice target. I want to see a little push lower here now, a little bit more. I'm going to buy a little bit more back right here. Alright, so I'm just holding 1/6 of this original position. I'll probably hold the rest against this little node here now. I'll do that. Yeah. So I'll watch for 50 and so I got my trailing little runner right at this point right here, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to take profit here at 50 or if I'm going to give it some legs and see if it goes more. 50 wouldn't be a bad spot to take profit though, for sure. Alright, I just flattened. I'm out. Flat. good little short there. Looking pretty weak. Big movement on the 5 minute. So I was watching some of Al Brooks' stuff last night, and he talks about he'd probably be entering a short right here, knowing that he'd be wrong up above. I think maybe up above the high of the day, but I don't know. He might not be. I don't know his stuff that well. I just was watching some videos last night. I'm in by no means an Al Brooks specialist, so looking for continuation, I suppose. So on this one, you could consider an opening range retest. Like if we come back, get somewhere up here, look for a pullback into this area. Big move down on the 15-minute bar too. Let's see if they take out. Let's see if they take this level out. I would think you'd have some guys with some stops there. Okay, pop that spot. All right, so I'm definitely pleased with the management of that one and the scale out levels. Pretty big reversal bar here. So yeah, apparently I don't know much about Al Brooks because I mentioned he'd be getting short right here. Although I think he still would, and he'd be wrong. He'd figure he'd be wrong above, like, I think the high of the day there. Big reversal bar here though. Reversal bar on the 5 minute. And that's big enough here. So I know I mentioned an opening range retest and then a short, but truthfully for me, that's big enough to where we'll watch it shakes out here, but I might be looking for a long. Seems the more patient you are, just the better setups you get. Had a little, not much, but did have a little FOMO yesterday with price moving down so hard. Okay, big reversal bar. So this is interesting to me. Wondering if it's a just a quick flush. So these two bars on the 5 minute make it, whoops, sorry about that. They make it kind of interesting to me. She's got this big move down, then up. So we'll watch and see if it continues here, if it pauses, and then we resume and move up higher. So I'm not looking for anything right now. I know I mentioned maybe a long earlier, but I'm gonna let this set up and see what we get. Pretty big move in the last, gosh, just 2 minutes. We went to 65 all the way down to 52. So these are some big bars here. All right. I'm gonna buy some here. Wrong below this level. I'm in 30%, so not a whole bunch. Let's see it shake out here. Looking for what could be kind of like a wedge pattern. Got another minute to go on the 5 minute bar. Looking to see if we can't take out this level up here, then get somewhere up into this spike. I'm going to sell just a little bit right here, a little bit more. I'm still in 2/3. go. There it is. Still a little bit more right there. Okay, I'm in half of this position. Gonna be wrong now below this level. Looking to see if we can't push up above now. So again, things with the market, they can just change so quickly. So we were here, failed, came down, had this big green bar going up, and I mentioned when I saw that, I thought, well, maybe I'll get long. I don't know. I certainly wasn't going to take a short. Came down here and then saw like a quick rejection off of 50, and so I thought, okay, like this looks like a spot where we might try to get long and see if we can push and then go higher. So got my stop against this level. I may tighten it up here a little bit. I'm still in half of the original position. I'm going to sell a little bit more right here. So I'm just in 1/3 of this guy, and I'll watch and see. Let's see. I'm just wondering here if I get out and then look for a better entry, or if I stick with it and see if we can't blast off a little bit higher. See if the bulls can put something together. I'm going to put a little trailing stop just under, so for half of the amount I got remaining, I'm going to put a little trailing stop just right here under this amount. That way if we blast off, I can capture it. If not, I'll get taken out here, come back down and try to get filled at a better price. All right, so we tried it there. Looks like we couldn't quite do it. And that little trailer I've got just right here. Again, that way if we blast off, I'm going to capture it. So this is the spot here. This is where they've got to do it. Going to tighten this thing up a bit. There we go. Let's see if we can keep moving higher. All right, I got out of just a little bit more, so I'm in 1/6 of that original position. Just looking to scale it up higher. Watching this 80 area. You know what? I'll keep the rest of it right here. So I'm still in a 6 of this guy. We'll see what we can do here. Looking pretty strong, looking decent. Lucian Toma. Hey, how's it going? So this last little dude I got on, I'm just going to hold against this level, as I mentioned. Got long down here right at 60. I said I'd be wrong initially down here. Got to give ourselves some wider stops with these volatile markets. But the thought on this was we came up, came down. When we popped up again, I mentioned that I might get long. Wasn't totally convinced when we were down here, but then I saw this strengthening and getting stronger. And so by this bar, I thought, okay, another big reversal. Let's see if we can get in here. Maybe we were making a wedge, and I certainly want to hold it against this. As we popped up to here, my stop was then this area, and then I've scaled out accordingly up in here, and then up in here, and I've got my last little piece on against this level here. Mindful that we're coming up into that kind of that spike area. So let's see what our resistance is. Let me look at the overnight, see if there's any extra insight I can glean from that. So the big spike on the overnight was 87, came up to 37, 87.5. We're not there yet. This is that big spike the other day. I'm going to move my stop, my trailing stop up a little bit. So I've just got it up to the middle of here. Want to see it hold this. I might exit out of this guy. See how it behaves there. So now I've got my stop just here at this spike low. So if we hold that, great. I'll stay in it. If not, I'm just kind of trying to trail up as we move up. Got it a bit higher now. Now I've got it at 37.78. Getting some action up here, that's for sure. Okay, I'm done on that one. So I'm pleased with the way that guy was managed. Not too shabby. Well, that might be it for me. I don't know. Two good trades right off the bat. Didn't take much heat on. Well, it didn't really take any heat on them. They just worked out well. So there's a difference between days when you can read the market well and days where it's just not as obvious. It's different. It's just a bit harder. Yesterday I was reading that we were going lower, but struggled to find good entries yesterday. Struggled to find levels where I knew we were wrong, or where I knew I'd be wrong if the market went against me. Trying to learn, but I'm confused. I watched too many videos about trading. Yeah, boy, I tell you, sometimes Lucian, I don't know, hopefully I'm saying it right, Lucian, sometimes less is more. So like with my charts, I don't have indicators. I simply just look at the daily chart, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and the 1-minute, and that's about it. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there too. There really is. The best things I would think are on Trading Psychology, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. So again, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, best psychology book on trading that you'll find. Just fantastic. Another great book on psychology, one that I'm going through right now, and I often share parts of it. It's called With Winning in Mind. It talks about defining success, so not and focusing on the process, not the outcome. So was I trading appropriate size? Did I have a stop in place? Did I know where I was right and where I was wrong? Did my emotions get the better of me? Things like that. Well, we're batting 1,000 so far this morning. Who else we got here, I wonder? Oh, let's see. Anyone else take any trades? Jan, are you there? Or Gold Fever Prospecting or Tech? You guys take any trades this morning? Any activity? Oops. Spot there. Put that screen away for a minute. Yeah, what an interesting spike that was. I didn't see it in real time. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong screen. What an interesting spike that one was, huh? Like I said, I didn't see it in real time, but you're pushing lower, thinking, okay, this is it. Wham! Runs up really fast and hard, comes back down. So surely that's what we're struggling with this morning, is that got, I think FOMC tomorrow, right? Fed's talking tomorrow. At 2, I won't be in front of the screens then, but that's what they're doing. Let's see here. Let's see if this is anything. Wondering if we go short against this level. Not for a bunch, but maybe, I don't know, a few more points. Maybe down to 60, 61. I'm not in, but just saw that pop, that push down, then pop up here, and then the fail. So yeah, might get 61 on it, or 60. I mean, we might get super way lower, but that'd be a target. You caught along there, Tech, at 37.63. If you did, yeah, I was involved right at 37.60. Or what was it? 61. attack on that one, were you, if you're saying that you caught it at 37.63, were you all out at a certain level, or were you scaling a bit? Man, pretty big delay. I was just watching the playback. Probably 20 seconds. But the stream is in excellent condition. So that's good. Here's the 15-minute overnight and the 5-minute. Oh, not as big of a delay as I thought. Maybe 10 seconds now. So here we go. Let's see. Some big moves. Whipping back and forth, whipping back and forth. I'm wondering, I had that trend line in, let's see if it came down to it, if it's getting any kind of reaction. Oh, excuse me, farting. Remove that guy, let me put it on the 5-minute, it's usually a bit cleaner. Something like that. Alright, so on that short, got down to 60. It's good. Well, if you've just tuned in, we had a nice short here, right off the get-go. Shorted here, scaled out along the way with the last scale down here, and then saw this action and got long around 61. Scaled out up here, here, and then here, and that's been it so far for this morning. See how they treat that trend line. So again, here's the 15. We're under 60 and 61. Here's the 5-minute. I would think you'd want to see a pop getting back above like 61 here. Short 37.60. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one, Tech. Man, I think that one could run. What's your target? You all in or all out of it at a certain area, or you try to hold it? What's your style? So the guys who played this wedge, in my mind, if it fails, which it looks like it's going to, the next obstacle is here. But then if you breach that, you could have some good movement downward. And again, we are in a bear trend. Anybody else place any trades this morning? Stop at BE, yeah. What's your target? 50 and below? $50 and runner, yeah. That's nice. Got down at 52, making us sweat a bit. This could be a nice bar here. Be nice to see this guy fail low and continue on. I'm going to sell just a little bit here. I'm in just 10% of what I'll allow myself to get into. Same thing, just looking for a breakdown. I'm going to put my stop at 61. Okay, I'm out of half of it. Let it run now and see where we go. So my stop on that one, since, well, you know what, let's see. I'm gonna have my stop on this one just right at this node right here. A little tighter. I didn't get in as good of a position as Tech did, and I was in small. Just 10% of what I'll allow myself to get into. There we go. Looking pretty good on the 5-minute here. So here's our 5-minute. Here's our 15. So I'm out of half of this one, and then I've just got my stop right here. I thought about it at the mid 40s there. Thought about being done, but we'll see. We'll give it a little room. Hey, good one, Tech. Nice trade. So for this to continue and fail, I'd like to see it, and I don't know if it will or won't. Feels like the move could be done. I'd want to see it get below 50 again. But this trade is, it's a little stale. I've been in. Well, it did what it was supposed to do. Tech, did you get any out at any in the 40s, or you done? Did you pull the plug at 50? I got another minute on the 5-minute bar. So the question now is do we stay strong here, hold above 50, or do we get back down in the next minute or so, show weakness, and then continue through? I feel like that could be it. We'll see. So my stop on this one is just right here, right at this little spot. For that little, for half of the position. Good little trade though, got a few points on it. Got out at 50, tried to leave a runner. Nothing happened here, had a good pop. Looks like the 5 minutes gonna close stronger now. Well, let's see, second by second. And see if it gets below that or if it holds it. So same thing, right? Like blink your eyes and market dynamics can change. See if I can trail this guy a bit now. Oh, there we go. So I've typed my stop up a bit, or my trailer, my runner. Still in it, holding against this level here. Debating whether to get out and pull the plug on it. I'll give it a little bit more here and see what it wants to do. I like to see it stay below 50. Got my little runner now right here at 50. So if we pop above that, I'm out. If we fail, go lower. I'll be with it. Okay, that one's done. That one's done. Wondering about a long now. Try getting long right here. Small, 10%. I'm just going to hold it against this little node right here. Whoop. Kind of some cute little back and forth trades, but I'm in it small enough, and I've had a good, like a profitable first 3 trades. So this is just kind of like a lotto one for me. I'm holding against this level on the long. Might even move it a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna move it just a tiny bit. Just 10% of what I'll allow myself to get into. Back below 50 though, so we'll see if we got some weakness here. Alright, stopped out of that little piece, so that's it. And that was just a 10% kind of a lotto trade. Same with that one I did short here, that wasn't much. Thought we might get a pop there and then push higher. Well, that might be it for me. I'm going to watch it a little bit more and see if anything interesting develops. Tech, you all out of yours, or are you still in? And the trend resumes. Trend resumes. Let's see here. Excuse me. I'm gonna buy some right here. Gonna try to hold it against this 37.40 area. I'm in 20% of what I'll allow myself to get into. Want to see a pop above 50. No, I don't have a hard stop in here at 40. See if we can't reverse a little bit. Do a little about face. Selling 50 hard again. Looking for this 60 level. It's going to be my first target. Got another 2 minutes till we put in a new 5-minute bar. For strength, I need to seek it above this 50 area. I got 1 more minute on the 5-minute bar. Sold off the 50 pretty hard. I don't have a hard stop here at 40. So first target on this is going to be 60. Let's see how the 5-minute looks here. Let's see, we got to get it above 50 though. 60, we'll see what it does there, and then maybe up into here somewhere. So we'll see if we get strong. Bought the balance. Yeah, I'm long here as well. Oh, you're watching. Gotcha. Yeah, they bought it here, so I'm involved to the long side here, looking for high 50s. Need to get it above this area, in my opinion, to show some strength. Need to get it above that overnight low. It's been holding 42. If we get above this much more, I'll probably put a stop right in here, like a hard stop. So 42 to 50, that is our battle zone. Pull up the 5 minute here. Here's our 5 hanging out below here for 1, 2, 3 bars. We've got another minute and a half till we get a new 5 minute bar. It'll be interesting to see where this bar closes, this bar that we're in right here. I don't like that wick. I'm out. Okay, I'm out. So that one didn't go for me. Not involved. Tried to get long here, was in 20%. Looking for a pop above 50, didn't happen, so I'm out of that one now. What did we mention the other day? 3720 to 3700, maybe even 37 mid 80s. I'm gonna buy some more here. So I'm in 20%. Same thing, just 37.45. I was just reading your think tech. So let's see, I'm long from below. Seeing if this can't be our move now. So I'll stick with this guy a little bit. Like to see it stay above like this area here. And let's see now if we can pop up a bit higher. I'm going to sell a quarter right here. Selling a little bit more right there. So I'm still in half of this thing. Next target in my mind is like 60. I'm gonna hold it more, or rather, I don't think I'm gonna scale out at 60. So sometimes you get involved and it's just not there yet. You're a little premature. So on that one, tried getting involved, got stopped out, and then we just quickly did an about face. Looks like we ran some stops there. Here's the 5 minute. 5 minutes showing some definite strength. We're up above 50, like I talked about earlier. Next target in my mind is like 61. So I think at 60 I might scale out of a little bit more and then see if we can't run him higher. Big engulfing bar here though. Big 5 minute bar. Where's that 9 SMA at, Tech? Still around 45, somewhere in here. Let's see, here's our 50% retracement. 50% looks like 37.46, call it. Well, not anymore. All right, I'm gonna sell out of a little bit more right here. Okay, and I've just got a runner on. Remove draw ring. See how we look on the 5 minute now. Let's see what our next area could be. Here's the 15 minute trend line. I'm pleased with that scale out there at 61 like I mentioned. Here's the 15 minute with the overnight action. Here's the 5 minute. Here's today's open. I'm gonna flatten right here. All right, I'm out of that guy altogether. Might look for a pullback and see if I add some, but I feel like this thing still has some legs in it for sure. All right, so that was a good little pop there. Again, just market nuance. Reason for that scale out, just looking at the daily. And again, I mean, we could have a very bullish day. You just never know. But ran some stops here, coming up, and 37.61. That was my target from below. Got out of the last of it at that spot. Remove. I'll pull up this fib again, just see what we get here. $33 up to $63. All right, so I'm out, I'm flat. I might add a little bit more of that piece that I scaled out of up here if we pull back in a little bit more. Pretty big move there on the 5-minute bar. I'm just in observation mode now. Had kind of a silly long here, if you want to call it that. Was long, looking for it to get above this area. It didn't, got stopped out here, then quickly came down and then quickly up and so jumped back on it. Might have been premature, but didn't take any heat on that one, and it worked out in my favor very quickly. So scaled it up here at 54, and then some more at 58, and then the last little piece, 61, and tried to give it some legs to see if it would run, and then got out of the last of it. So yeah, that little one right there, kind of dumb. I was in it small enough though, but got a little antsy, I think, on that. Just putting some lines in, seeing what makes sense. So we'll watch 50, see if it holds it, or if it comes below it and then quickly reverses and gets back above it, that would be bullish. Kind of the meat of that is in this area from 50 to like 42, 43. That was that initial little like battle zone area. All right, let's see the bulls do it here. All right, I don't think I'm gonna get involved anymore. If I do, it'd be small. Um, been a good day. Been reading the market well. So that 60, 61 area serving as some sort of resistance, short term at least. Pull this dude up one more time. Let's look and see what's what. So again, let's see if we hold 50. Or if we pierce it and then come back above it. See where our 7-8 is. $37.40. That's where that's at. There's a 61. See if they do it 50 here. Hey, you're welcome, Dano. No problem. So I'm not involved right here. Just hanging tight, watching, letting the market show me what it wants to do. Had several good trades earlier. Had 3 winners, 1 loser. 2, 3, 4. Yep. Watch this 40 level. Gonna stick my nose out and got a resting order right at 40, looking for a little pop. Just 10% of what I'll let myself get into is the 7-8 retracement here. So if we don't pop, so I'm in. If we don't pop quickly, I'll just ditch it and get out. Just looking for a little scalp. If we get a big pop off of that level, I'll hold it and try to give it a little bit more time. So again, I'm in small, just 10% of what I'll let myself trade. It's the 0.78 on the fib, or the 7.8, whatever you want to call it, and then it's against this node here. So ideally, this one works really well, in my opinion, if we get back up into, get above 42, and get into this like value node here. But again, I've got very tight stop on it, very small risk. I'm just giving it down to this level right here. That's it. Got to keep a short leash on it. Yeah. All right, now I'm gonna. Now let's see here. What do I want to do? I almost scaled out. Come on, looking for a pop back up into 42. It's not really giving it to me. So on this one, I might pull the plug here pretty soon. So I've got my stop now really tight on it. There we go. So now my stop is just at this level right here. As I mentioned, that 0.78 is always usually good for about 3 points. Come down to it, pop up. It's like a 1-to-1. I'm being a little bit more greedy on this one, just because of the price action we've had. $37.52. All right, let's see if we pop now. So if we pop it. Not getting the pop I wanted, not yet. Want it to get up into the meat of this area here. Super tight stop on this one. Only in 10% of what I'll allow myself to get into. Right now, stop is right at this level here, so we'll see if it takes it out. Out of one. Okay, I'm out of that one. So, tiny risk. Yeah. Pleased with that. Let's see. This is. So could we have run stops right there? That's the question. So it looks like we just ran some stops. But you never know. I'm just going to let it be. Just going to let it be. Missed the short entry at 37.52, says Mr. Tech. Oh, Dano, I've been on and off since '09, but this is the first time since then that I've been able to dedicate a good amount to it where I can just watch it in the morning. So I just watch the markets from usually 8:30 to 10:30. Sometimes I've got a little bit more leeway where I can watch till like 11, and then I go work at a local nonprofit here in my hometown. So prior to this, I would be traveling on the road about 3, maybe 4 months out of the year. So I'd be away working where I couldn't do any kind of trading, at least on the short term like this. I would trade options and like stocks. But I'd be away. Let's see if we push here now. It's a little interesting. I'd get back into trading. I'd have some good runs. I would then get undisciplined and mess it all up. So I'm excited about this time now for the several months that I've been back. Thought that I'd make a little YouTube channel so that I can watch my playback, kind of how NFL players or NBA players will look at the tape to watch themselves trade and learn from it. And then also just the consistency of like every morning. And there have been times too where I've sat in front of the charts for the whole day. And really with me, I've realized that less is more. I'm just more fresh and crisp for the first like 2 hours of trading. A bit more disciplined. I feel like just personally I can see what's happening a little bit better. Most days, yesterday was not one of those days I could see what was happening. I just couldn't find any good entry points. But today the market movement and action has been a lot more clear to me. Yeah, been at it here consistently in the mornings for the last 4-5 months. So it's been nice to just have that dedicated time and then wrap up by about 10:30. So if anyone who just came on earlier, I think I started like, I don't know, maybe 4 minutes before the open, something like that. So our first trade was here, got short, worked out really well, scaled it down. Next one was long, got involved right at 61, and then wrote it up. Where was my one after that? Oh, had that little short right here. I got involved short right around here, wrote it down, got out here, almost got stopped out, and then took some more off the table down here. I got long up in this area, got long right in here, thinking that we might see a pop above 50. We tried several times over the course of, 7-8 minutes. Couldn't do it, came below here. I didn't have a hard stop in, but then just got out right here once I saw it take out this line, or this little node. And then had a nice pop here. Saw this come down, and then it quickly did an about face, and got back into the meat of this here. So got long at 44, wrote it up to 54, and then 58, and then the last little bit here at 61. So those are the trades I've had so far. And then just had this little tiny one with very small risk, kind of like a lotto trade that I would call it. Came down here looking for a little pop. My initial intention was to scalp it. I probably should have, but was thinking like, all right, if this is the low, it'd be nice to see it get back up into here. So that's kind of what I was holding out for. Didn't risk much, but thought the risk reward on this one could be nice if we got up into here and then there. But that's a little recap of today's price action and today's trades. So here we are, couldn't get above 42, probing lower. Oh, kind of like a broken record, right? Let's look at the daily. Look at this thing. Puke City, man. So here's our daily. Couldn't get any higher, broke lower. That's been the story since last Wednesday. So it's been 5 days of just down. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Let's see. Try to go to like a 3-year time frame. Let's look at those a little bit more. These are the areas that I'm just watching. So again, like 37.20 could be something nice. 3,700 even. 3,700. 37.85. This is all speculative, you know. You gotta watch price action once it gets to that level. Could be that we get way the heck to down here, and I'm not saying today, I don't know, but I'm just kind of keeping an eye on those price levels. So this is our open, or no, this is our overnight high. We're here. Let's look at, so the orange lines here denote overnight price action. I'm sorry, not overnight. The orange lines denote the opening range. So the first minute of trade. Let me pop that daily back up. So today, I'm way back here in the past. We're back in January. Some of these levels here, I think of not last year, but the year before. So going back like 18 months. But this is the orange line opening range. This is the high and low for the first minute. Red dotted, that's the overnight low. Green dotted, overnight high. So we got up to this level, but now we couldn't break above 80, and we're just hanging in tight around here. So let's see how it looks over here. Here we go. So there we are. Pretty big resistance at that overnight high level. Could be a long here, you know, long, you hold it against 34. See if we pop up to here, try to get up into the 60s again. I'm not involved, I was just explaining stuff there. Then we've got, James P. My average size is what I can trade and not be emotionally stressed out about. That's my average size. So you'll hear me mention like I'm in 30% or 50% or 10% of what I'll allow myself to get into. Every now and then I'll be in 110 or 150% even, but the size that I trade is size that I can do business with and even have a losing day and not really worry too much about it. So I want to consistently increase that size and have it become larger and larger and larger. But the main thing for me right now that I'm focusing on, so I've been reading this book, it's just been excellent. It's called With Winning in Mind. I reference it quite a lot. And he talks about the fact that you can remind yourself that I can and will have a winning performance every day. And personally, I define a winning performance as watching the market without any emotion, just watching and observing, just letting the market unfold, telling you what it wants to do. Secondly, not fearing that I'll miss the move, so knowing that the setup's going to come, I've got time to place a trade and to react. And then third, just placing my trade with appropriate targets and stop losses in place. So this was a nice little move downward with kind of like a triangle wedge here. Remember that 42 was the battle zone? And here, I think we're at 43. I mentioned you could get long at 44 or so. You'd be wrong against 34. See if we can get back up into this area. Kind of feels like a range-bound day, at least so far. No problem, James P. When I'm swinging big size, like 20 contracts, I'll let you know. So yeah, when you're trading, you gotta ask yourself like, what's an appropriate size? What is appropriate for what I'm looking to do? And it's interesting, man, how the profession I had where I'd work a little bit at home and then go be on the road for 3-4 months, make my whole year in those few months, and then some. Really great profession. It's called the paintless dent repair industry. So there'd be major catastrophic hailstorms. I would go travel, like last year I was working in Austin, where the whole city just gets, or most of it, gets blasted with a catastrophic hailstorm. And so supply and demand is just way out of whack, and it's insurance money. So I'm working with retail customers and body shops, and there's just business everywhere. The average body shop is backed up where they can't even get your car and repair it 9-10 months down the road. So it would bring a lot of guys like me in. Needless to say, doing that in that short amount of time, the money was really, really good. So much so that, I mean, I should be able to risk, $2,000 on any one trade and be fine with it, like no big deal. But as you well know, emotions can get the better of us, and that isn't always the case. Watching here to see if it holds 42, see if it holds in here, and then maybe a long. But it's funny, I've just realized with myself that there were times, because initially when I first started messing with trading, they didn't have micros, they just had the full size contract. And so I thought, man, if I could only just trade like half as much or 20% as much, like I know I'd be a great trader. And it's interesting, man. Like there have been trades on where I've had a lot of risk, and I've been pretty cool, like pretty calm and collected. And then there have been trades where I've had such a nominal amount of risk, like such a tiny amount that I've risked, and I'm just like, I find myself just shaking like a leaf, just nervous. And so that to me was indicative that I was much more worried about the outcome versus the process. And yeah, I say that just to say, like, find out what an appropriate size for you is, do that, make that happen, and then straight from there. I'm going to buy just a little bit right here at this level. I'm in very tiny. Might look to add a little bit down here as well. I'm going to add some, so I'm just in 10% of what I'll allow myself to get involved with. Watching this 34, like to see us hold that level. Feeling like today we could be kind of range bound. Don't have a hard stop in here at 34, but if we get down too much lower, I'll probably pull the plug and get out of it. Not for me, like not a great setup here, but you never know, right? That's part of the game of trading. So on this, I want to see us stay again kind of in the meat of this area, mindful that we are in a significant downtrend on the daily, on the 15-minute, on the 5, and first target's going to be up here at 50. If we get up there, I'll get out of that and have my stop here, and then I'll look to see if we can run up into like high 50s up here. This will be the last one for me of the day. $15-minute not looking great. Kind of congested in this area though. We're fighting like back and forth. So again, in this one, like I'm in small. I recognize that we're in a downtrend. I'm not risking a lot. The money's been made for today. Just gonna take a crack at it and see what can happen. You never know. So the last two I've taken have been like lotto trades, as I like to term them, where I haven't risked a whole bunch. Not great setups, but giving it a shot. Wondering if today is somewhat of a balanced day, or like a what we call a rotational day, where we're up and down and up and down, and then up, or sorry, down, then up a little bit. Let's sell half of that right here. So got within 2 points of where I wanted to initially take some off. I'll move my stop now to this area here. So first target was 50. Took it off just a little bit premature, but I don't mind, that's all right. You know what, on this one, I'm gonna move my stop right to break even. So I've got my stop just at this level on the last half of this trade. Might lower it just a little bit. So there's 50. Let's see if we push above now and get back up into the high 50s. So on this, I've got my stop right here at this. Remember I talked about, here, let me move this over a little bit. All right, this one's working out well, so that's nice. Talked about this being like the meat of that move. So on this, decent entry was right at 43 half. Scaled out of some here at 48. First target was 50. I got to get better on letting it go to my targets. And then my last little runner piece that I got on, I'm holding against 42. Want to see if we can't get above up into like high 50s. So I'll leave that one on right here. See if we can push a little bit higher, and that's it. That's going to wrap it up for me. I am all done. Hope you guys trade well. Trade and protect yourself. Keep your stops in place. Know your targets. Keep your emotions under wraps. And enjoy it. Have fun. Have fun trading. All right. See you tomorrow.